Hello everyone, and now I continue to talk about the new topic, the very hot topic nowadays in the world. Are you a global citizen? This is not new, but I don't think that students at CTU think about it or apply the knowledge to master these issues or even try to practice themselves to master different features of being a global citizen. So according to a web page on UNESCO, you can see that global citizen education try to provide a platform so that that students can accept other people for the way they are, respect other people' opinions, and co-create peaceful and healthier and prosperous world. So if you have a look at the education or look at yourself on your personal road to achieve this goal, it could be a goal that nobody wants. It could be a goal that many people try to apply in their life or apply in their working conditions or even in their perspective. So when you have the questions, are you a global citizen? You can answer yes or no. And if you answer yes, there must be something for you to through that or for some process or some practices that you have experienced or have done related to that term. It depends on how you define your life, how you define your goals in life, how do you define the success, your living good seat, your objectives. So there are many things. It depends on your belief, your thinking, your thoughts, your kind of, how do we say, it's something bigger than that. It's an ideology or something. It depends on how open you are in your thinking, your mindset. Is it open or a fixed mindset? It depends on your knowledge, your intellectuality, or even how you understand about the word, your knowledge and your skills. And it also depends on your prejudice, your demands, your life, your curiosity, etc. So I sent you the link so that you can watch this video by yourself. Now I am going to share about different definitions about global citizen. According to Sputnik Education on this website, global citizen is defined a status of life that your thinking or your effects influences that that can be standard is over to out of the boundaries of your village, your country, your province, or your continent. It means that you will not stay in one like place. You you can stay here, but your effect, your influence, or your knowledge can be found or recognized in other places. So there are two aspects that you can have a look at. Is what philosophies is mean that the work is similar, is a equal, that there will be no differences and no racism on different kinds of people, countries or the border. So everybody is the same. Everybody equals to each other. So if you live in Australia, you live in Syria, you live in Europe, You are the same. You are human. You are lovely. A is Vietnamese. A's are Vietnamese. So for the reality aspect, global citizen means that you can travel, or you usually travel to different places in the world. So I can see myself in previous years before COVID-19 as a global citizen because I traveled to many different countries. And of course, if you can have more than one nationality, it's okay too. It's okay if you have only one Vietnamese nationality. You have to contact or have direct conversation frequently from with people from other countries or other places. You have a certain level of understanding about different kinds of cultures in the world. I mean, over here is that, like, for me, I understand, I try to study a lot about Christian religion. I study about cultures in Korea, China, in Europe, in the country where I live, like Poland, in America, in the United States, Singapore, in Thailand. Some countries that I have visited for during my working time or during my young age. So you see that I have some certain understanding about these cultures by my own eye, my witnesses. There's one thing over here that I disagree is that the level of income, it's mean the amount of money that you can get. This says it means over here that you have to have that kind of money that's very high at the international standard to be a global citizen. I disagree with this idea because sometimes when somebody live in Vietnam, they can have a lot of money, but somebody like myself, I do not have that level of money, but I am a global citizen for sure. Because I look at myself for my influence to other teachers and students. Or I can see around me that something I use from Vietnam, and my phone is from China, and the Apple iPhone is from the US brand. Uh, or I use my laptop with HP, and sometimes HP is not really from Vietnam over here. I use T4 as my iron tool, or so I use different kinds of things in my life, even for food. Sometimes you buy some things in the supermarkets, you can see the origins of these products. And if you are Vietnamese and you are using some different kinds of products from the other country and you understand what you need, or you can use the services with Korean food restaurants, that is a certain meaning or a certain case. You can recognize yourself in the environment of being a global citizen. So with me, according to Sputnik education, I disagree with some minor things like this. So I have some other things, and believe me that we are global citizen in any area in the world now because of globalization. So you can see McDonald's, you can see KFC everywhere now. And if you are in Vietnam and you are not eating every day with Vietnamese food, you have something from Thailand, from China, from Americas. That means that you are living in a condition for being a global citizen. So there's just something more for you to stay focused, to practice, to reach the new goals, so that you can do more things with that citizenship. It's not just you as a Vietnamese. You are the Vietnamese with the new status. For this one, I have this slide to try to explain in Vietnamese over here on the slide that you can summarize these things from what I am speaking now. So you have English as a different language, and you can communicate with people, and they don't have problem to understand you. That is exactly the one of the features that makes you to become not just staying in the well as you used to be. You need to see the world. You need to understand what do young people do in other country. What do they think? What do they do for the world, for planets, for environment, for everything? According to Wikipedia, global citizen is someone who live in different countries. So they work in one country, live in another country, or they can have many different kinds of nationality. This is not too much difference with the first one, okay? With the first definition that I just presented to you. So in Vietnam, this concept of global citizen have appeared early. However, we can try to define it in a different way, and we can see its existence. However, if we want to understand clearly about that, it depends on the person. Really, you have to experience that. You have to know about that. You have to be aware of what does it mean. What do you do to be one of the members of that big community, or what kinds of experience that you need to do to become a global citizen. According to Genesis Hanoi, on the website, I searched for this information, and you can see this. The first quote from Hannah is that a nation or the people must care or pay attention to other places in the world, must care to the world. It's not just you yourself or your country in the nationalism, but it is more about the world because we are living in the same planet. So global citizens will nurture the respect for themselves and respect others no matter where they're from. It's been you respect the differences. We don't care about money. We don't care about colors of the skin. We don't care about the kinds of personalities. Everything. We need to learn how to listen to people. We need to understand the differences. We need to respect any differences, any difference, and no any difference. So you will need to master critical thinking or debating. You need to pursue fairness, justice, and try to reduce the harmful things to our planet. And according to Jeremy Bruner, education is not just to transmit or transform cultures. It's also to provide everybody with some kinds of perspective. You look at things in a different way. Sometimes you listen to me and you think that I'm not a really good teacher or not really good speakers of English for sure. But if you look at me in a different aspects, you look at me as my enthusiasm in working with students and trying to lead students to discover different things in their learning or have them improve their problems. So we see that my teaching is not very normal to other certain kind of understanding. So according to this website, youngsters need to be very flexible, creative, and active in everything. They need to know what they need to do. They need to know what they need to care for their life, for their families, for their society, the community, everything. So they do something with their responsibility. They think about the problem. They think about how to solve the problem. They need to contribute their values, their insights, their powers, their everything to not just themselves In playing a game, they do something with the word, they do something to help people, and they need to have the skills and the ability to try to be able to live in the new demand society in the 21st century with the different kinds of skills that you can work in multiple dimension international companies, something like that. So there are many different kinds of skills that you need to study over here. And then you have some kind of feature characteristic that you can develop, and you can try to learn actively for what you need from now on. You think about yourself at the moment that you go to work and want to be success, not at the moment of you study with me and you want to pass the exam. When you study with me, you need to think about what you can do by yourself, what you learn about your problems, and you need me to help you find a way for you to improve. And you need to be active with your learning, practice every day with something, and then try to learn how to have people understand that, or have people how to cooperate to solve social issues, or the work issues, or global warming, or global citizens attitudes, or something like that. According to Oxfam, global citizens mean that you have to have an awareness about how big is the world, about yourself as a member of the global citizenship. What do you do? How do you respect? What do you do to respect and to respect the other thing? And you try to think about that in a respectful way. You understand about the word, how what are the differences between this country and other country, the politics things. We don't talk about that, but you have to understand the differences. You have to understand about the money system, economics, and everything. If you see something that it should be solved and it's not fair, and you need to act, you need to be the leader to act to change that things. You need to, when you are global citizen, you need to act, you need to do something, have some actions to change. And you have to you can think of joining some communities at different levels, so that from Vietnam in other places in the world, so you can try to give people with something with your values from Vietnam. You need people to recognize Vietnamese people are not too low in their intelligibility. So they are very smart, warm, helpful. So the world cannot understand that if you don't give them any sense over here. So we need to have some action to create a new world, to have peace, to be sustainable, to be fair for everybody, with equity. And we need to think about ourselves, our responsibility, our actions, and our values in this world, our life. According to Clifford and Montgomery, 2017, so global citizens were was reviewed about the different kinds of concerns like that. So the concerns about incorporating the ideas of developing the future workers over here is that when you think about global citizens, it's mean try to think about something that can link yourself with the ideas of how to repair yourself in the future. In the future, with the works that you don't have the skills yet. So the next thing is about a vision of moral sense of responsibility to humanity. So we live in the world. We respect everything. We try to make sure that we maintain the good things of humanity. So each of us need to be to be responsible for our action, to save the world, to help people, to educate people. Third thing is about the awareness of interdependence of on our life. So the fourth thing is about the futures of our planets and our society depends on the engagements and creativities of the decision making of our future leaders and who are our current graduates. So from this perspective, we can see that they are thinking about global citizen with the concerns that a person with that title will need to do to act or to have some action for the world from their own contribution. According to Baker and Fain 2020, so we have different kinds of term or concepts to be used equivalently with intercultural citizenship education. Over here is with education because this paper are about education and they try to focus on something with learning. So when you combine with learning about others, about other people, about other perspective, other people in other countries, of other kinds of thinkings, other people from other countries, other kinds of religions, other kinds of love or something like that. So you can have general awareness about experience, what you do, and what you do to have influence on some other things, other people, and where you live, your family, where you work, etc. So it's more about to produce activity in the community that at a range of skills that goes not just inside of your village, inside of your country. So with this kind of information, it try to ask the teacher or even you yourself think of education so that you can connect with people, work with other people, cooperate to do something for the world, do learn something about others, and be kind of listen to them and get awareness about everything that you can think of in this life. And this is my definition. It's very simple. You can do your own definition too. So for my definition, it's just a citizen in global context or condition. And you are Vietnamese in the globalization. You are already in the condition in this context. So you can look at what you use, thing you use, food you eat, phone you use, books you read, videos you watch, language you speak, the news you know, curiosities that you have about the differences, festivals you celebrate, trend you follow, music you hear, the origins of vehicles you use, the prints of your favorite candy, etc., the companies you work in, how many places and countries, etc. So, in the numbers of places in the companies with like kind of multinational or international companies or something. So we are in the same situation with COVID-19. Is it not from Vietnam, and everybody have to suffer for it? So my definition is too simple. The idea is over here is that do you want to become global citizen or not? Do you want or you do not want? So if you want to do that, you need to accept the reality that you are in the context now. So what you need to do is to transform yourself with the skills, awareness, the mindset, and everything, your preparation, so that you can be really a true global citizen. So if you have that ideas in yourself now, in your mind now, you need to ask why or or do you or are you now a global citizen? So you have really good condition now, and your living conditions, your context, social context, your living condition. We have Asian over here. So I mean to mention that you can recognize that more and more workers, high level, from other countries in Asian countries to Vietnam to work with high salary. Vietnamese, we cannot do that because we don't think that we are global citizens. We don't prepare uh, before we join the labor market. So we are not good enough at the beginning. And the future employer or employees are totally different. And if you decide to become a global citizen, you can see that you have a chance to go to other countries to work or work for national country, for international countries, or multinational country. It depends on you, but you need to practice to prepare yourself with different kinds of skills on that. And if you study about that, you know about that, you have 1 or 2 more years to fix your problem from now, so that you are ready to become the new generation of global citizen, that you are ready to work in other countries like people in Europe. So now I move to the next section about my question for you, that who you are, who am I, and who are you? So when we talk about who you are, it means that I want to ask about your identity. Identity over here, if because when you are in your village only, you are in Vietnam only, you don't have a chance to have a look at the face of Vietnam and the face of Thailand people, or Thai people, sorry, Thai people in Thailand, or Philippine, the Filipino. So we have almost the same common face with them. So in an international context, if people from Vietnam, Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, sorry, sometimes the foreigners cannot recognize the differences between us. It's very hard. Or even we ourselves, we cannot recognize ourselves in some part of China that our face looks similar to Chinese. I'm sure for that, except for those who are really have really strong genetic things with the eyes or something. Or even when we speak, you can recognize. If you don't see something traditional, some signals, you cannot recognize who we are, where we are from in international context. And if you work in global citizen condition, you can think about something like fruits, for example. We cannot identify the differences between fruits from China and fruits from Vietnam or something like that. So who you are, it depends on your question and answers about what do people and friends and others knows about you. So what do they know about you? What do you know about yourself? What makes you different from yourself, or in a positive or special way, from your friends and your communities, your features, and your classroom. So if I ask you to see yourself different from your classmates, for example, so what makes you different from them? You are more handsome? No, nobody look at that. Or your influences? Maybe. It depends on you. How what makes you different from other people in your community or your clan, your group or something. So what can people think about I make a text over here about fighting things about you. So not it's about fight. What can people think about finding information about you? What do people talk about you when they think about you? Why do you need to care about you, your image, your success? Or what do you do to make you different in a positive way? So now I talk about me. If you want to know more about me, you go to the link. This is a way for me to reflect on what I have done different from other people, and I can contributed a kind of website with information, so that when everybody want to find out who am I, they can try to seek for the information. Or you can search on Google for my full name with CTU, Nguyễn Duy Khang, and CTU. You will see who am I, because When you search for that information, you will see my name, my research, my contribution, or everything that I have done for education. So that is who am I. You will know that I am different from other teachers. I'm different from you as the student. I'm different from other people in my province where I live. Okay? So now I ask you, if you think or you try to personalize yourself as the saint, the saint. So a saint in the place where they 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 do the field, the salty field. Uh, the price is about 500 dong per kilo. Okay, and people who do this are very kind of they have a lot of problems and hardship, everything. But then with 500 dong and you see 1 kilo of salt in the supermarket is around like 9,000. So the values is about 19 times higher. Or in a small jar in a restaurant. So the salt is in the percent of money that you pay for the restaurant. So it has higher value now. And if you want to have more value, you cannot just be yourself. You need to add more values to your life. It could be chilies, it could be sugar, it could be shrimp, so that you can make yourself to become thin and strong. And at that time, your price is higher than the salt after graduation from the school. After you finish your university, you are the salt at the field, at the place where the farmer produce you. Okay. And if you want to have the values of like 100 times higher than that, you have to add values to yourself before you go to the workforce, before you go to the market. That's what I mean over here. So it depends on how do you want your value to be. You look at yourself, you look at the, the definition of global citizenship or global citizen, so that you think, what do you do? What else do you need to do so that you can be different? You can be visible in other eyes, in the employer's decision to choose you for their company or something like that. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, how is your life? Every day you do something just for fun. You don't study, you play games, you spend your time sleeping, etc. What is your life, your goal? So what is your objectives? Are you a burden in your life? Um, everybody everybody try to give you time. So give you time, so that you try to understand where do you want to go, which direction, or what do you do with that. So what you are doing, you have to look back at what you are doing. Is it good or not? Is it okay? Is it right or wrong? You have to define that. You have to understand that. Do you have any kind of good things, or like favorite things to do, or some kinds of talents, or some kind of dream? What can you do, or what can I do? What kind of competence or passion that you have? So everybody, you and me, everybody need to ask and answer again about these questions, so that you can look at yourself and look at the standard of being a global citizen to to plan for your future. So this video is about the value, your value. So your values is in your hand. You can watch the video later. I will give you the link. So this is the values of the boy. The boy trying to find out what is his value, and his mom wants him to find out by himself. and you see that, you need to do that too. And you can watch this video to understand what I'm saying about. So the next videos where I want you to watch to is your value. So if you are really good at something, nobody can do bad things to you. So these values, this video is about the values of the paper bill, the money bill, $20. The teacher tried to do something with it, and then the value is the same. So if you really have your values, nobody can harm you. It is just you. It means you can define who you are, and in this world, this globalization, you know who you are. You are visible. You have your own value. You have to construct or build it. The next slide right here is that from the same teacher. Uh, we try to understand about different kinds of hours. So we have 4 hours, 24 hours in a brain. So what kinds of information do you need to study, experience, and reflect every day, every hours? It's not something sleeping, game, chat, chit, or something. So how are you different? It's the difference because you use your 24 hours in a different way. Because everybody have the same 24 hours. And if you use it for good things, for yourself, for your features of global citizen, for your future job, for your preparation, is it different from a person who plays games every day, chat it and love and something not very important. And you can have a look at yourself and try to value how much do you value in your word. So what makes you different? What additional values that you can have in your life after graduation? So when people talk about CTU students graduation, graduates, undergraduates, what does it mean, and what do you have different, additional to that value? That is what I want to mean over here. What kinds of passion that can make you successful or be a star, or something like that? Or what kinds of what level of effectiveness that you do for your life and everything like that. So do you waste some time? Do you waste something? And do you spend time effectively? Do you study something useful for you? Do you practice every day so that you can improve yourself? Do you change your mind to be your new one? To be you with the strong thing. And then you see different kinds of videos that I need to share with you too. So you, when you study, and these videos, I will give you the link later. It's about something that uh, you are a monkey, and you cannot talk to people as a fish. That, oh, too poor for you, fish, you cannot climb the tree. Or the fish look at the monkey and tell him or her that, oh, monkey, you are not good, you cannot swim. So, I mean over here is that we should respect other people. We respect other people, and we need people to respect us, vice versa. So, in another way. So, in order to do that, we need to build up the new values, the new things, new recognition, so that everybody follow global citizen or good Vietnamese, for example, or being a good members of the youth union. You act, you do things, you learn, you prepare for yourself, and you don't judge people. You love people. You have people, etc. And these are the steps I find out from the website. 7 steps to become a global citizen. So you can read from number 1 to number 7. And I have 2 more to add to this list so that you can practice more. And of course, if you look at Get Hungry, you can have questions. So I have to explain over here for you. So over here, it means that you try not to, it's just something you know. You try to try something new. You eat new things in a new restaurant. You try to find out a different restaurant to have the same meal that you love. Like you love bún bò Huế, and sometimes you eat in a one place for forever. So now you try to find out any other places and try to find out the differences in this big word, in this beautiful word, and go abroad in the future, make some friends, become a leader, lead something. And most importantly, I think that you know how to possess critical thinking. You have to have that ability, and you need to change your mind from fixed mindset to open mindset. And then you have to be tolerant with the differences. These are important. So um, this now I talked about midterm project. So for the midterm project. So I want you to study about global citizen. I just give you very short information so you can study more. And I need you to experience a professional course about global citizen. And then you reflect what skills or things you can learn from this project. And then you do a video report in 3 to 10 minutes. So it's up to you if you can do 3 minutes or 10 minutes, no problem. But I need you to be creative. You need to share your real experience. You need to talk about your new things that you learned from this process, and your thoughts about plans, about actions, about what you want to do to change, to be new of you, to be global citizen. In order to do that, you can have 2 courses over here. You need to choose only one course. So you go there to study. For the course with Microsoft, you just need to use the team account with your email in my classroom, and then you can sign into Microsoft Educator. And that time you can study with and finish the course with the certificate. With Coursera, you can study, but without money, you can just finish the course and don't get a certificate. But I don't need you to get anything if you don't want. You need to study the course only. Master the course, pass the exam. That's done. And this is one of the conditions. So you study one of the course, not all of them. And then try to take the course so that uh, you really have the evidence in your video. You tell me that you finished the course, and you take the photos of your results with your name on the score and the scores of the slide. And then that's everything. That is everything that I need. Okay, and then this is the requirements. So this information I need you to mention in your speaking. So you can talk about your own definition of global citizen. You can talk about who you are. You can talk about your evaluation of yourself if you are global citizen or not, and even that the features for you to recognize someone, your friend or somebody, or your parents to be a global citizen or not. What kind of skills do someone need, or select a friend or a teacher at SFL and find out any evidence to prove that person to be a global citizen. And then you can talk about the matter that global citizen can influence your life. What the problems that the world today face, Vietnamese youngster face, you and your friend. So I make a mistake and she is in your friend, it's not you friend. So you can see right here is that I need you to talk about problems, because being a global citizen, you need to care about problems, and you need to act you have action to solve it. What did you study and achieve through different searching and courses related to global citizen? And what alerts do you want to make or send? You need to tell people about global citizenship. You need to tell people to change their ways of learning. You need to tell people that they need to care about their future. And university cannot give them everything if they don't want to do anything like that. You need to be responsible for themselves. You need to have action. You need to change. They need to be more active, etc. For evaluation, I need you to spend around 3 to 10 minutes for the videos, and then I have 6 criteria. So if your video is interesting, I give you 2 points. The length is 3 to 10. Sorry, within 3 to 10. 3 to 5 is okay, but 3 to 10 is it to me 2 points. The content, the information is good, 3 points. You cover on the ideas, 1 point. Creative, 1 point. And if the product is good for inspiring other people to study more, to learn English, to practice skills, to follow soft skills or anything, at that time, if you agree for me to upload it into YouTube for more people to watch, this is 1 point. Trong cái phần này thì thầy định nói tiếng Việt một tí, bởi vì nó quan trọng nên là thầy sợ một số bạn sẽ không hiểu. Thì cái yêu cầu của thầy ở đây thì thầy yêu cầu rất là nhiều thứ. Tuy nhiên các em cảm thấy khi nào đủ thì các em cứ dừng thôi, bởi vì thầy cần các em là hiểu biết về những cái vấn đề này để các em tự tìm được những cái kiến thức quan trọng cho mình và nói nó thành tiếng Anh. Bởi vì khi các em đi chu du thế giới, người ta chỉ nói về những vấn đề này thôi, người ta không có hỏi em là mày đến đâu, không có tối ngày hỏi em bạn đến từ đâu, gia đình có nhiêu người đâu. Người ta cũng không hỏi là bữa nay bạn thấy vui không đâu, nhưng người ta sẽ hỏi bây giờ mày thấy vấn đề gì sẽ giải quyết làm sao. Vậy thì ở đây 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cái vấn đề này là 10 vấn đề mà thầy muốn các em đề cập nó sau khi các em đã tìm hiểu, các em sẽ đề cập nó trong cái video của mình, và các em sắp xếp thoải mái làm sao để cho nó thu hút được người nghe, nó sáng tạo, nó như thế nào đó. Và cái dự án midterm này thì có thể nó sẽ không phải là 10 điểm nữa, mà nếu mà các em làm hay, cả lớp đều làm hay thì thầy sẽ cho điểm tăng lên. Và nếu mà cả lớp không làm hay mà chỉ vài bạn hay thôi thì những bạn đó sẽ được điểm thưởng ngoài cái điểm mà được chấm. Thì ở đây chúng ta có thể thấy rằng là thầy sẽ đánh giá qua 6 cái tiêu chí này. Thì thầy đánh giá về độ dài, thì độ dài ở đây thì để lúc đầu thì định là 5 phút, nhưng mà 5 phút thì sẽ không cover được hết thời gian. Tuy nhiên là thầy sẽ giới hạn là tối đa là 10 phút. Vậy thì các em làm trong vòng 3 đến 5 phút là thầy thấy đạt yêu cầu rồi. Tuy nhiên những bạn nào giỏi thì sẽ nói được nhiều hơn. Thầy cần mấy đứa chuẩn bị nội dung cho kỹ càng sau khi mình đã nghiên cứu, bởi vì thầy cho thời gian mấy đứa rất là dài. Mấy đứa làm sao cover được và có sáng tạo. Và nếu mà sản phẩm của mấy đứa nói chuyện tiếng Anh, có trau chuốt, có thu hút những người khác người ta thích xem, thì thầy sẽ cộng điểm này cho mấy đứa. Vậy thì quan trọng ở đây là 31 tháng 10 là deadline. Vậy thì mấy đứa nộp sau tới ngày đó. Lỡ mấy đứa có nộp trước ngày đó thì trước ngày đó mấy đứa vẫn được quyền sửa chữa cho đến cái ngày đó là deadline. Vậy thì nếu mà mấy đứa làm xuất sắc quá thì thầy sẽ cho điểm thêm. Lúc đó thầy sẽ giảm phần điểm khác trong lớp lại. Rồi, nội dung chỉ có vậy. Vậy thì thầy nhắc nhở mấy đứa là cuối cái bài thì thầy có một cái test nhỏ. Thì nó nằm trong là bit.ly.gv citizen. Thì mấy đứa vào đây, mấy đứa sẽ sau khi mấy đứa nộp bài, mấy đứa là bây giờ làm thì không có tính nha. Bởi vì khi mấy đứa đã nghiên cứu, mấy đứa đã quay xong video, mấy đứa đã học xong cái course, thì một trong hai course này thầy xem như là điều kiện để mấy đứa submit video. Vậy thì khi mấy đứa học xong cái course này thì mấy đứa muốn học chừng nào cũng được, học 1 ngày cũng xong, 2 ngày cũng xong, học 1 tuần, 2 tuần, tùy mấy đứa, tùy bạn. Khi mấy đứa học xong, tại vì nó bằng tiếng Anh mà, mấy đứa cứ học xong thì mấy đứa nộp video, làm xong video, nộp video xong mới vô làm cái này. Thì đủ 3 cái này thì thầy sẽ bắt đầu chấm điểm mấy đứa. Vậy thì thầy đề nghị là các em cứ có gì thì sẽ hỏi thêm thầy, không có thì các em cứ bắt đầu làm việc và cứ đọc dần những cái thầy đưa. Video thì ngày mai thầy sẽ cố gắng gửi cho các em tất cả những cái video liên quan trong quay bài giảng, và hy vọng thì nó sẽ có thể giúp các em hiểu thêm về bản thân mình và hiểu thêm về các cái tiêu chuẩn của Global Citizenship công nhận toàn cầu, và sẽ giúp các em trưởng thành hơn, chuẩn mực hơn, để mà trở nên giỏi hơn và sẽ sáng giá sau khi chúng ta tốt nghiệp. để mà có thể tìm được một vị trí ưng ý, công việc tốt và rèn luyện được những thói quen của bản thân, những thói quen học hành, những quan điểm tích cực. Như là trong khóa học của thầy muốn truyền tải tới các em những kỹ năng mà các em phải trải nghiệm. Nói tiếng Anh không chỉ đơn giản là mình nói những cái chuyện mà mình biết, mà mình phải nói tới những chuyện mà thế giới người ta muốn nghe. Mình nói những cái chuyện mà trong công việc chúng ta làm. Chúng ta chỉ biết nghe nói đọc viết thì giống như một cái người Việt nói tiếng Việt thôi, biết nghe nói đọc viết tiếng Anh là giống như người tiếng Anh, người nước ngoài, người Anh, người Mỹ nói tiếng Anh thôi. Chúng ta phải có những kiến thức sâu hơn, những kỹ năng sâu hơn và những cái gì bên cạnh đó, vân vân. Cảm ơn các em. Thì thầy cũng thành thật là xin lỗi là bởi vì là thầy quay video này hơi khuya, và thầy không có nhiều sự chuẩn bị và thầy phải có nhiều việc gấp gáp hơn để làm, nên thầy không thể quay lại và chỉnh sửa những cái lỗi phát âm hay là lỗi nói trong quá trình nói của thầy. Thầy buộc phải chấp nhận để gửi video này cho các em, mặc dù có rất là nhiều lỗi, và hy vọng là các em xem nó là minor và coi như là thầy vẫn luôn đánh giá lại bản thân của thầy, và thầy thấy những cái lỗi này thầy sẽ phải khắc phục trong tương lai. Cảm ơn các em, và chúc các em có một cái buổi học, ngày học rất là tốt.